What is your inspirational story that you can share with the world? Hi, this is Coach Jim Johnson. Do you have a story to tell? Throughout the years, I have used this video section here on my website to give you tips, tricks on leadership, personal growth, and motivation, as well as teamwork. This week on the video, I want to switch it up a bit and share a story with you that changed my life forever. Many of you know it already or have heard bits and pieces throughout the years. But here is the story of Jason McElwain and how one snowy night in February of 2006 in Rochester, New York, his dreams came true. What is your inspirational story? I was fortunate to be part of an inspirational story that I want to share with you that went around the world. The year was 2003, and I had a young man come into our basketball program. He was on the autism spectrum, and he was also learning disabled. His name was Jason J. Mac McElwain. Jason had a dream to play in our basketball program at Greece Athena High School, where I was the varsity coach. In 2003, he tried out for the JV team, and after a few days of tryouts, my JV coach came to me and said that Jason was not a very good player, but he had this huge heart, and he wanted to keep him in the program as our JV team manager, and that's exactly what he did. During that season, Jason started to develop a great band with the rest of the team. In fact, it warmed my heart when Jason was on the bench during the JV game and would get so disheveled and fired up that after the game, one of my varsity players would have to fix his tie for him. During Jason's sophomore season, the JV team and the varsity team had successful seasons. As the varsity coach, my downfall was we kept losing deep into the New York sectional playoff tournament. In fact, going into Jason's sophomore year, we had lost 4 times in the sectional semifinals. The furthest we had ever gotten at the end of this season was Jason's sophomore year when we got to the varsity again for the semifinals for the 5th time. We unfortunately blew a 10-point lead and lost for the 5th time in my sectional semifinal. We were devastated, but that did not stop J-Mac. In fact, he came to all our off-season workouts between his sophomore and junior year, and he was getting better. His goal was to make the varsity as a junior. And when he tried out for the varsity next year, I brought him in after a few days of trials and had to deliver some bad news. I had to tell him that unfortunately he was not quite good enough to make the team, but that I would like to offer him the team manager job for the varsity position. Jason quickly accepted that role and made an instant impact. In fact, in our first team meeting, he stood up and said, "Coach, I want to share a mantra with this team. We are going to stay focused and help you win your first Section 5 championship this year." We had another excellent season, but then we lost in the sectional semifinals. Now, for the 6th time in my career, losing at the buzzer to our crosstown rival. We were devastated, but that stopped J-Mac. He was more bound and determined to make the team as a senior. Sure enough, Jason tried out for the team for the 3rd year in a row. After a few days of tryouts, I brought him in and shared with him that I had some good news and some bad news. Jason asked for the bad news first, so I told him unfortunately he was not quite good enough to be on the team, but that I had some good news as well. The good news was I was going to offer him a uniform for senior night and hopefully get him into the game. He was quite excited about that idea for that uniform, to say the least. In fact, he would ask me about that uniform periodically, and I define periodically as about every other day. We were expected to have a great team Jason's senior year, but after our first 2 games, adversity struck. Our team went into a tailspin, losing 3 out of our next 5 games. Fortunately, we had a powerful team meeting after Christmas, and we finally started to play much better. The kids shared a lot of ideas, and after that meeting, we won 7 out of our last 8 games going into senior night. Senior night is always a special night because we honor all the seniors before the game, and we bring out their parents or guardians who supported them throughout their entire basketball career. This night was profoundly special because I got a chance to see J-Mac embrace his parents in uniform instead of in his white shirt and black tie. It was extremely humbling for me. Well, the game begins, and I was hoping I could get Jason in sometime during the fourth quarter. I got all the seniors and everyone into the game, and with just over 4 minutes to go, I decided to give Jason his first opportunity to get into a varsity basketball game. What I didn't know was when Jason walked on the court, our student body, we called them the 6 men, had pictures of J-Mac's face plastered to sticks in anticipation of him playing. I was so profoundly touched that I sat down, put my head in my hands, and started to cry. The first time Jason touched the ball in his first varsity basketball game, he shot a 3-pointer. This was the moment we were all waiting for, but it missed by about 6 feet. Now, I know you're not supposed to pray in the public schools, but I prayed, dear God, please help him get just 1 basket. Well, his next shot was much closer. It hit the backboard in the rim, but it was still a miss. I thought God was starting to listen because we were getting closer. The third possession, Jason got the ball to the right wing behind the 3-point arc. He let it go. Swish. The place went crazy, and I thought God must be a basketball fan after all. In fact, Jason not only made a basket, he made a 3-pointer. It can't get any better than this, right? Wrong. For the next 3 minutes, J-Mac turned into his boyhood idol, the late, great Kobe Bryant. And he started making shot after shot. And one thing I'll never forget, with about a minute to go, I'm sitting on the bench, tears still rolling down my face, when I get a tap on my shoulder. I look behind me. It's J-Mac's mother. She's crying her eyes out. She embraces me and says, Coach, this is the best gift you could ever give my son. What would you have done? I cried harder. Of course, as the game was ending with about 10 seconds to go, the countdown, Jason's dribbling down. He lets a 3-pointer go that's beyond the arc. I'm thinking, Jason, don't shoot from there. That's way too far. He lets go this rainbow. Swish. I look over and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is the movie Rudy, as the people are running on the floor from the stands, our players run on the floor. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is incredible. It's got to be the movie Rudy, but this is really true. And then I see Jason's mother run out between all the people, and she embraces Jason with a big hug. And then our players put Jason on top of their shoulders, and he's got the ball over his head. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I have no idea how many points he has. And our public address announcer comes on and says, the leading scorer for the Trojans, J-Mac, with 20 points. And I'm thinking of my math brain. If he'd have played the whole game, he would have scored 160. That's pretty good. Well, there's a couple great lessons I learned from this. Number one is the essence of teamwork, because I had never asked our players to pass Jason the ball yet. In those last 4 minutes, he's the only one that shot. In fact, I still kid him to say, J-Mac, I'm looking for your first assist. You never passed the ball. And then a second lesson was the fact that Jason's perseverance. He's the first player in my 30 years as a head coach that he ever tried out for the team, 3 consecutive years, and never made it. But yet he was loyal and he committed to the team, and that's why he deserved the chance to play. And then lastly, what I call carpe diem. He was prepared for that opportunity, and he seized the day. Are you ready for your opportunity if you get your chance? Remember, learn from Jason to prepare for that. And then the cherry on top is 3 weeks later, Jason's dream of being part of a Section 5 championship came true when we played in our arena called the Blue Cross Arena in front of a sold-out crowd of over 10,000 people. And we won a very close game to be declared Section 5 champs for the first time. Now, J-Mac's dream came true. Our dream came true for our team as well. And I believe your dreams can come true if you learn from being a great teammate like Jason. Keep that perseverance, be prepared, and be ready to seize the day when your opportunity comes. So thanks for sharing. I would love to hear an inspirational story for you because we need to have 2021 a great year where we're helping each other, inspire each other with stories like this one. Thank you.